Okay, so let's go ahead and rip the Band-Aid off. Neurodivergent people manifest faster than neurotypicals. Yeah, I said it. And no, it's not because you're special or you're chosen or you're more spiritual. It's because our brains don't operate on the same emotional operating system that 99% of manifestation advice is built on. Most manifestation teachings were built by and for neurotypical minds, emotion-first minds, people who need to physically feel something before their brain accepts it. That is not us. Neurodivergent people don't feel it real. We know it real, and knowing is faster than feeling every single time. So today we're going to talk about why neurodivergent people shift realities faster, easier, with less emotional gymnastics, and why every neurodivergent person who thinks they suck at manifesting is literally just using the wrong instruction manual. So if you resonate that manifestation advice in general feels complicated for you, it feels like it's too much, it's overwhelming, it doesn't make sense for you, congratulations, you might be neurodivergent. And I kind of want to touch briefly here that neurodiversity is a big umbrella. You could be autistic, you could have ADHD, ADD, you could have OCD. You could have personality disorders. You could have bipolar disorder. There's so many things within this, even Tourette's and Down syndrome. So look into that if you resonate with this. But this is not to tear down neurotypicals and build up neurodivergence. Okay, this is just to show you how your brain is very different than the typical person. And that's not to tear down the typical person. A lot of the advice out there is great for them. And I'm so happy that they were able to really get this quick and fast because of all the sources that are out there for them. I'm someone that is autistic with ADHD, diagnosed about 7 or so years ago. I think it might be 8 years now at this point. So I can relate to the people that have been listening to Neville Goddard, listening to Joseph Murphy, listening to all these techniques that promise that it's going to get your desire. And then it never works. It didn't work for me until I realized how to work with my mind and what works best for me instead of listening to what other people are doing. And so that's what I'm here for you, is for you to figure out what is unique about your mind and how to use it to your best ability. So if you are new to me, hi, I am Alchemistic. I post content on manifestation. If that's for you, continue watching. If you'd like to work with me personally, links to my services is in the description. I also have a member side of my channel as well as a school community where I post members only content. And on my school community, I do go live. I do hot seat coaching, and I will be starting it where it's going to be private group hot seat coaching very soon as well for the school community members. So if you are interested in getting maybe some one-on-one work with me, but you can't afford it for personal one-on-one work, and you're okay with a group setting, check that out. Information is in the description box. But let's go ahead and get into this. So first, I want to talk about why neurodivergent brains are identity first and not emotion first. So most neurotypical manifestation advice goes like this. Feel the emotions. Feel them harder. Feel them more consistently. Regulate your emotions. Get into alignment emotionally. Then wait for the universe to clap for you. Neurodivergent people hear that and immediately go, yeah, that's cute, but my emotions are feral squirrels on caffeine. So what else do you got? Neurodivergent brains aren't built to lead with emotion. We lead with identity, logic, pattern recognition, and conceptual knowing. Which means the moment we decide something is true, our brains update the identity file instantly. That's why you can literally wake up one morning and go, yeah, I'm done. I'm not that version anymore. And everything in your life rearranges itself like a Netflix reboot. Neurodivergent minds don't gradually shift. We quantum shift because identity is our default setting. So, have you ever felt like feeling it real just doesn't apply to you? You can't do it. Congratulations, you might be neurodivergent. Even if you're not diagnosed like me, this might resonate with you, and this might be your key here. So let's talk about Neville's famous line, "Feel it real." It's a beautiful quote, and I love the man and I respect his work. But for neurodivergent people, we're like, sir, with what emotions? The ones that are currently upside down, sideways, and emotionally unavailable? Neurodivergent folks don't manifest through a feeling. We manifest through the click. The moment where the identity shifts and you go, oh, this is who I am now. And your whole 3D world flips like a table at a reality TV reunion. You don't need to feel it. You need to be it. And neurodivergent people shift into being with zero warm-up. Your neurodivergent inconsistency isn't a block, it's the engine. Most neurotypical coaches love to scream consistency at people. Stay consistent! Repeat it daily! You have to reprogram yourself. Meanwhile, neurodivergent people are like, I did it once, I got bored, I forgot. Then it manifested. So, explain yourself? Our inconsistency is actual identity neutrality. We don't emotionally micromanage things like neurotypicals do. We decide, we shift, we get distracted. Reality updates in the background like an app on 5G. And the wild part? Neurodivergent people think they're doing something wrong because they're not repeating affirmations 900 times. No. Repetition is for people whose identity doesn't update instantly. Yours does. So if you are the type that can hyperfocus, your hyperfocus is literally quantum jumping or quantum leaping, whatever you want to call it. Reality shifting. Neurotypical people think hyperfocus is cute, like a fun little productivity quirk. Hyperfocus is not a quirk. It's a force of nature. When a neurodivergent person hyperfocuses on the new identity, even for 10 minutes, the shift is done, locked in, installed. Your brain collapses every version of you that doesn't match the chosen reality. When you hyperfocus, you stop doubting. You stop second guessing. Your logic takes over. Your internal timeline dissolves. You become the identity with zero resistance. It's instant embodiment. Hyperfocus isn't a dysfunction. It's the neurodivergent version of alignment without the spiritual dance routines. Neurodivergent detachment isn't trauma. It's a superpower. I need to say this louder for the spiritual influencers in the back. Neurodivergent disassociation is not a trauma response. Sometimes it is, sure. But neurodivergent people also disassociate because our brains naturally disconnect from non-essential sensory input. Translation? You're already good at letting go because you don't cling to the 3D like neurotypicals do. You detach fast. You shift fast. You move on fast. You embody new identities fast. Meanwhile, neurotypical people are across the street doing breathing exercises and grounding with a crystal. Neurodivergent people detach mid-target run and shift realities by accident. Neurodivergent emotional dysregulation doesn't block anything. I'm going to say the thing that scares the spiritual police. Neurodivergent meltdowns and spirals do not interrupt manifestation, period. I'm going to use myself as an example. I have meltdowns probably a couple of times a month, if not more. I don't remember them after, right? We can get so overwhelmed by the sensory input in our environment and have a meltdown or a spiral. But guess what? Even with all those heightened emotions, even with the meltdown, even with the spirals, I still manifest effortlessly because I work with my brain instead of against it. Neurotypical teachers will swear you're out of alignment if you get upset or emotional. No. Neurodivergent emotional waves are neurological, not metaphysical. And honestly, some of the fastest manifestations neurodivergent people get happen right after a meltdown. Again, using myself as an example, I've had my fastest shifts and my most extreme manifestations right after I went into complete meltdown mode and I was screaming and crying or in the fetal position crying. Literally, after I got done with my episode, the thing happened. So why is that? Because the emotional storm breaks the old identity. The new one clicks in. Shift, done. You don't need to be calm. You need to be the identity, meltdown or not. I've literally, like I said, you can watch the video where I talk about fixing the relationship with my son. I was crying every single day. I was emotional every single day about it. And it still unfolded. It still happened because I was being the identity that was experiencing the shift, that was experiencing that happening. Identity first, reality second. Once you become the identity, the reality shifts. So as a neurodivergent person, your relationship with time makes manifestation easy. Time doesn't exist. I've talked about this in plethora on my YouTube channel, on my videos, on my live streams, in my private coaching. Time does not exist. Every moment of every single day you are experiencing is the now moment. Whether you are 5 years old, 80 years old, or however old you are right now, everything is happening now. All realities exist now. No matter what it is, you could be homeless and there's a reality where you are a billionaire. You could be well overweight and there's a reality where you are fit and lean. You could be a male and you want to be a female and there is a reality where you are a female. There is no limit to this. Neurodivergent people live like time doesn't exist, which is perfect. So neurodivergent people accidentally manifest like time doesn't exist because it doesn't. What we do is we forget time. How many times have you been in the middle of something and you look at your clock and it's been an entire day has passed? You lose time. You operate in time loops. You remember things before they even happen. You get hit with deja vu during identity shifts. Your brain wasn't built to use timelines as guidance. Your brain was built to jump identities and confuse the 3D until it shifts with you. You don't manifest on timelines. You manifest on identity lines. Which is why neurodivergent people often say, it happened so fast. I didn't even have time to react. Exactly. Neurodivergent people's pattern recognition equals reality editing. Neurodivergent people can see patterns before the pattern actually forms. This is a manifestation superpower. You know the shift before you see the proof. You notice echoes instantly. You spot the identity mirror before the event even occurs. You don't need signs. You are the sign. Your brain picks up on microscopic changes in people, conversations, tone shifts, coincidences, energetics, timelines, identity, echoes. It's why neurodivergent people think manifestation is obvious once they get it. Your brain is literally built for this. Let me give you another real example from my own life, because this is exactly how my brain functions. Like I mentioned, I'm ASD1 with ADHD. And my IQ each time it was tested was around the 130s to low 140s. My brain is logical even when I'm crying, melting down, or covered in tornado glass. If you want that story, I can post a story on that, on how I survived a tornado. I've talked about it before, I think on one of my live streams. I have literally saved my son from a metal duct, shielded my son from a tornado, reversed around a semi-truck with physics-level precision. And I didn't feel into alignment. I didn't regulate my nervous system. I didn't tap or visualize. My brain just knew. Identity locked in. Action followed. Reality shifted. That's a neurodivergent manifestation. Instant knowing, click, done. And I shift the same way in my manifestation practice. I don't repeat affirmations. I don't journal for 30 days. I don't align my chakras. I don't check my birth charts. I literally can't even visualize. I have aphantasia. I have videos on this as well. So what do? I decide. I hyperfocus. I shift. I detach. And reality updates. This is why neurodivergent people manifest fast. Because we don't do the extra 57 steps neurotypical people need. Our brains are made for quantum leaps. Neurodivergent people don't manifest faster because they're magical. They manifest faster because identity is their first language. Logic overrides emotion. Hyperfocus collapses timelines. Detachment is natural. Emotional waves don't derail anything. Time is a suggestion, not a rule. Pattern recognition is automatic. Inconsistency is actual flow. Neurodivergent brains weren't built for the traditional, emotional, step-by-step manifestation world. Neurodivergent brains were built for knowing, not performing. The moment you stop trying to manifest like a neurotypical person, you'll stop struggling. When you shift identity, you shift realities. Fast, effortless, naturally. Because you're not broken. You're not behind. You're not inconsistent. You're neurodivergent. Which means you're actually built for this. So start acting like it. That's it, guys. That's the video. I might record a deeper dive on this, on how to actually use your neurodivergence to really hone in and master identity shifts, aka reality shifts, which is what manifestation is. I will have that over on my members channel and on my school community. If you are interested in that, I'll probably have that out in the next few days. But regardless, I know no matter what, this clicked for you. This made sense for you. And I want you to comment and let me know, where was your aha moment? Where did it make sense for you? And if this video made sense, let me know. Are you diagnosed with neurodivergency, or do you just have an assumption that you are? I'm curious. Until next time, guys, I know no matter who is watching my videos, day or night, you're about to have the best day or night of your life. And I already know that that's the case for you. Take care.